This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Mike Murphy.
Thank you, Charlie. It's good to be back with everybody. I've taken a little bit of time off, so it's been a few weeks since my last podcast. So we're going to call this the first episode of season 3. And that's what I'm going to do is kick off season 3 today with my friend, Ginny Trosper. Ginny is somebody who I've recently met, and we've worked on a project together. And when I heard kind of a little bit about what she does in the community, I thought that it would be great for Ginny to come on today and just kind of introduce herself to the community. And let's get to know Ginny Trosper. She's a certified health and life coach. So Ginny, welcome to the show and tell people what you do.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me. So yes, I'm a certified health and life coach, and I'm also a certified functional nutrition counselor. And so what I do is my specialty is getting to the root cause of what people are having trouble or struggles with. So that could look a lot of different ways. It could be digestion. It could be balancing blood sugar. It could be low energy, fatigue. Menopause is a really big one. It could be weight loss. So it can range. It's all over the place. It can be a lot of different things.
Okay. You brought up menopause, and I know that, I'm 61, and there are a lot of people in my age group going through hormonal this, that, and the other. And that's kind of a tricky puzzle to figure out for a lot of people.
It is.
So how do you go about figuring that part of the whole nutritional thing out? How do you do that?
So each person, it's a bio-individual thing. So everyone is different. So even though, for instance, a woman, not all women are the same. So our bodies are different. And so I have to get to the root cause of what's causing their issues. So looking at each person individually, so looking at their sleep, looking at their stress, looking at their nutrition, looking at what they're eating, balancing blood sugar, all these things go into, what kind of a lifestyle are they leading? All these different things have to be taken into consideration so that I can truly help them. So it looks different for everybody, but starting with really, what's the blood sugar and what that looks like.
So in there, you mentioned the S word, sleep.
Yes.
And that's something that I don't struggle with sleeping. I mean, I'm one of the people that when I lay my head down, a minute or two later, I'm out. But I wake up 5 to 6 hours later and I'm up. So people say to me, you need to sleep longer. And that may be true, but my body just sleeps 6 hours and that's it. Do you think that someone like me should be okay with that? Or are you trained to tell me, Murph, you need to sleep more?
So as we age, I'm not saying you're old, myself included, as
Right.
we age, we do require less sleep.
Okay.
Now there's a difference between sleeping and resting.
Okay.
So sleeping is where we are hitting, we're hitting our pillow, we're out. But now when you wake up, are you still tired or do you feel rested? That's the difference, because a lot of people are so-called sleeping, but they're truly not resting. And so for our bodies to do what it needs to do, heal is a big one. Primarily the liver. The liver is regenerating between 12 and 4 in the morning. And so we have to let these different things do what it needs to do to heal. Mm-hmm. If we're not doing that, we're going to wake up, we're going to be groggy, right? So we have to rest and heal. There's a difference between sleeping and resting. And so if you get up and you feel good and you can go through your day and you're good, that would be good for you. For me, that would not work. Yeah. Personally. But like I said, everybody's different. And there's obviously a big difference between sleep and rest.
There are probably a lot of people out there who do what I've done for way too many years. And that is get up, hit the coffee pot, get my day going, and get so busy that you really just don't eat breakfast. You may eat a late lunch, or sometimes you won't at all. And then you're famished towards the end of your day. And so you just eat at the wrong time and you just kind of stuff your face. and then you go to bed. And
Correct.
so that's a personal struggle for me. I'm sure that you see typical struggles that others have, but I would say let's look at the positive side of things. And I want to ask you, is there a particular client that you would say you've had such a good experience with that it's like one of your proud moments as a health coach and life coach?
Yes, I want to get back to the sleep, the whole the sleep and eating and all that. So, when I mentioned blood sugar, that's it to a T. We get busy, we skip meals, and that is the foundation. The nutrition and the nutrients that you're taking in is what you have to pay attention to, because that's what's feeding the cells. If those cells don't have energy, guess what? You're not either. So it's just like a car. I always make a reference to a car. You know that if you do not put gas in your car, what's going to happen? You're going to run out of gas.
Yeah.
It's not going to be able to perform the way you want it to perform.
Yeah.
And our bodies are the exact same way. So if I don't take care of myself and I don't eat and I don't put the right nutrition in there and I don't sleep and I don't do all these things, I'm going to have brain fog. I'm not going to be able to concentrate. My hormones are not going to be balanced. My sleep is going to be off. I'm going to have mood swings.
Okay.
So yes, that.
Well, then, okay. With that in mind, then I'm wondering, all right, as part of how you help people, can you put together personalized nutrition plans, eating plans, where you kind of make it dummy proof? I know everybody's got to take responsibility for their own health. I get that.
100%.
But if some of us need a roadmap that's kind of dummy proof, where, here's what Ginny says to eat today, and here's when I should eat it, and here's what I should be doing. Is that kind of what you can provide for people too?
Yes, 100%. So it's not only me, with my clients, I don't want them to just hear me saying, I want you to do X. I want to tell you what I would like for you to do. But I also want you to make a connection for why I'm telling you this and how your body feels when you do this. It's all that body awareness, being totally aware of your body and what nutrition does for your body and how it does help with brain fog, how it does help with fatigue, how I do have better sleep, all these different things. So yes, I can put together a meal plan for everybody. And like I said, it's all individualized and I can do that. But also understanding why, the why underneath the why. Why do I need to support the gut? Why is the gut my primary focus? What about this blood sugar? What does this have to do with? Because that's crucial. That is going to dictate mood going up and down, sleep, wake, all kinds of things. So yes, I can 100% get meal plans together for specific things.
How did you come to, be a life coach? I mean, how did you get into this line of work?
So I've always been intrigued with nutrition. So I was a dental hygienist for over 20 years. And so I had a lot of nutrition classes, biology, chemistry, all that stuff. So I've always been intrigued with it. And also years and years ago, I started thinking about things that are in my food. My allergist was doing some allergy testing on me, and all these foods came up that I was allergic to. And I started thinking about it, and I said, I eat those foods all the time. And he said, your throat doesn't close up? And I said, no. And he wanted to put me on medication and give me shots and all this stuff because I, had allergies. So, I had a lot of seasonal allergies. And I started thinking about it, and I thought, what? I want to change my diet. I want to change things that I'm using on a daily basis, and let me see if that will help. There's a lot of things that are out there that are scented. We put scent pods in our, with our detergent. We put scent things in our walls. We are burning all this, the candles and just all this kind of stuff. And so I kind of read all of that, and I wanted to see what it would do for my body. And it did. It cleared everything up. I wasn't on medication. And so that's what kind of started intriguing me of, I want to get into this even more. And then as I got older and I had to have spinal surgery, And so that took me out of that hygiene role. I couldn't practice anymore. So I had gone to my boss and I said, you know what, I think I want to go back to school to become a health and life coach. And he's like, I think that would be fantastic. So that's kind of how I've always loved nutrition in the body and how things work together, because all of our systems work together. And I'm just fascinated with nutrition and how much nutrition is at the basis of everything. And so that's what kind of sparked me to go into the health realm.
Okay. Well, I know you're a mama bear too. You've got 2 kids that are, I believe,
Yes.
18 and 25, did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do they ever eye roll you because, you're trying to help them make better choices in life? And I mean, does that ever, I don't know, get in the way of you just being their mom?
Sometimes it does. Sometimes not so much because, especially with my youngest one, she doesn't eat dairy. She doesn't have dairy. And she had same thing. She had a lot of allergies. And I said, hey, let's pull back some of this stuff. She's a kid. She wants to eat ice cream. She wants to do all those things. And I support that. But let's see the relationship between when you eat this and you're really congested in the morning. Like, let's just see how that works. And she does. And she'll say to me, she goes, I ate too much ice cream, or I had too much cheese, or I had something. And, she can feel it. It's not saying don't have it, but you see that, you do struggle with that. So sometimes they do, they roll their eyes, I let them do their own thing, but for the most part, they've kind of been raised with the better choices just because they've seen me do that. And, that means a lot to me. And so they've kind of just grown up with that.
So let's take a step away from the professional talk and just talk about you personally a little bit. You, just like anybody else, needs to unplug and let your brain play a little bit. And what do you do for fun when you're not working? What's fun for you?
So I love vacations. So that is one of my favorite things to do, is go on a vacation. And my girls and I love vacations. There's lots of memories that are made with those. And so I like to do excursions too. So I want to do all the things when I'm on vacation, and just really rest and relax and unplug. I don't get on my phone. I don't work. That's one of the things that's a boundary for me, is keeping that boundary that when I'm with my girls, I'm with my girls. There's a difference between being there and being present. And so I want to make sure that I am present, because life is short and those are the things that mean the most to me. So I want to make sure that I make the most of each moment that I have with them.
Are you a cruise person? Have you ever been on a cruise?
So yes. So actually, as I told you, I was a widow. And so my children were 8 and 1. And so cruises is something that we started doing very young, because as an only mom, I was a mom and a dad. So the only vacation that was going to be a vacation for me is if I went on a cruise where they had the kids club, which they love the kids club. So for me, they were 8 and 1 when we went on our first cruise, and they didn't want to come out of the cruise or out of the little kids club, which was nice for me to be able to to spend an hour or 2 by myself, being able to sit by the pool, go have a drink if I wanted to go have a drink, or just go to the workout room. That allowed me to do that. Whereas if I were on a beach somewhere, that's no different than being home. I'm still running around, I'm still on my own. I'm still doing those things. So we did a lot of cruises. So for many, many years, every year, actually on the anniversary of my husband's death, that's what we would do. We would celebrate with a cruise. So we are cruise people. We do enjoy cruises still to this day. And, we go wherever.
Do you have a place on your bucket list, a place that you would love to go, but you've never been yet?
Fiji.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. Fiji or Belize. Those are both on my bucket list. So
Okay.
yes.
Mine is Machu Picchu. Maybe I'll get there someday. Maybe I won't, but
Hmm.
I've got to put that in the universe and just keep
Sure.
telling people that so that people can keep asking me about it so that someday I'll actually make it happen.
Yes. Yes.
So, do you do kind of, there's this term, you don't spill your candy in the lobby. That is, you don't give away free advice. But I have to imagine that in order for you to be able to take on a client, there is a give and take. You have to kind of um, have that conversation. So, is there a free consultation? Is that kind of where it begins?
So I do consultations. I do charge for them now. It's a
Okay.
small fee. It's $79.
Good for you. Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yes, it's not my full hourly rate, but it's
Mhm.
just so that I can understand what a client is looking for and I can give them some ideas because, like you said, I can't give pretty much within the first couple minutes, I know what's going on. But biggest thing is I want them to feel comfortable with me. I want them to see if I'm a good fit for them, right? That's a big part of that is I know I can help them, but I want them to feel comfortable with me because they have to they've got to be vulnerable. For me to be able to help them with what they're struggling with, they have to be vulnerable. So I want them to be comfortable with me. And if I'm not, then I can make a recommendation for someone else. The consultation is the first place that I like to start and I do send them a health intake that asks them some questions, and then that's what I base it on. And when I get that back, if I see some other things that I want to dip into a little further, I'll send them a different intake so that when we do get together, I've got all the things that I want to talk about. So I'm utilizing all of our time correctly.
Is there anything in particular that you could think of that you wish anyone listening to this podcast kind of knew about your business or your industry? There's usually preconceived notions that go with just about anything. What are some of those preconceived notions in your industry?
Um, so with me, I am certified, right? I'm a certified health and life coach. I'm a certified functional nutrition counselor. That is very important to me because I have been out and, somebody will say, oh, well, you sell stuff, and it's a loose term. A lot of people can call themselves a coach,
Mm-hmm.
And have I ever had one person ask me my credentials? Not one.
Okay.
But I make it known, on my website and things like that, because I do feel that sets you apart. I want my clients to know that I have the education behind it. I've been in healthcare my whole entire life. This isn't just something I do for fun. This is my livelihood. This is my passion. I want to see people be the best version of themselves. And a lot of times, some people don't believe that that's ever attainable. And
Mm-hmm.
so knowing that the knowledge is there, but the education to back it up is there. That's vital for me because I think in my industry, there's a lot of misconception.
Yeah.
And that's very important to me.
I imagine it's very natural and easy for you to become friends with your clients. Is that correct?
It is.
And
It
then
is.
kind of lines can be blurred there sometimes, I would think.
Yes, you have to be very cautious. You have to be very, very cautious and set the boundary that they are a client. And in that, it is because you get so wrapped up in their life and helping them and wanting them to succeed and wanting them to not struggle. And you want all the things that they want, you really, you put every bit of the energy into it. And so you do. It's a natural thing, but you also, as a professional, you have to know where that there's a boundary there. There's a line and you can't cross it.
So do you ever do group coaching?
So that is something I'm getting ready to launch. It's up on my website. And so I wanted to offer that as a modality that I will use. So for instance, menopause is a big thing. Menopause is a big piece of my practice. It's a majority of my practice. And so I am launching a menopause program that I can coach one-on-one personally. But the other thing is the group coaching. So if a group of ladies, want to get together and they want all their friends to be the selective group, I'm going to start doing that, because the support that they can give each other is very crucial. They will also enter into a group chat. So I have an app, and so I will give them all access that they can communicate with that. But I'm the support and accountability for them, but they have each other. And so in that group setting, being able to open up with each other and myself, we can all chime in on how collectively we can do things. And it's also nice that you might have some person that's struggling with something that they think they're the only one that's struggling with it.
Yeah.
And so they have other peers, friends, other people that they can walk alongside and say, you know what, that's me too. That's what I deal with. And so that's what I'm launching. And I'm really excited to be doing that. I've worked on that for a very, very long time. And so that's something new that I'm bringing out.
I would think that when you see somebody else going through something similar to yourself and you realize in that moment, oh gosh, I'm not the only one. It has to be a little bit freeing in that moment and kind of make the journey a little easier.
Yes.
I would think. So
yes.
That's why I asked that question. I would think that there was, good energy behind getting groups together where they can just kind of feed off of each other's energy and successes and be able to just kind of share amongst each other some of the things that they struggle with.
Absolutely.
So if somebody wants to know more, how do they go about reaching you? What's the best way for them to reach out?
So the best way is to reach out to me on my website, and that is healthcoachnky.com or lifecoachnky.com. And there will be a button that you can press on there to contact me, and that'll come directly to my email. And so that would be the best way, getting on my website. Or they can email me directly, and that's Ginny@healthcoachnky.com.
Ginny.
Ginny, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, our time together is ended, and I appreciate you spending, almost a half hour with me here. It goes quick, doesn't it?
It does. I appreciate you having me.
I just want to give you an opportunity before we say goodbye. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you wanted to talk about, or are you pretty satisfied with the last 23 minutes?
I'm pretty satisfied with that. That the functional part of that is, focusing on issues that people are having, but really what's the basis of what's holding them back?
Yeah.
And the causes, that's the functional part of it, that really takes people to the next level and helps them change, to finally find out what is that root cause of all these things that I'm struggling with. And so really that functional aspect, because there's not a lot of functional practitioners out there.
Okay.
So I think that's what sets me apart.
Well, anytime that you want to do an update, and if you've got more to say, or if there's a new trend, anything, you just let us know, and we will bring you back on and, just kind of give you a fun platform to be able to just let people know more about what you do and how you can help them. So.
Okay. Well, thank you. I really appreciate your time.
So I'll see you, Lord knows when. It's going to be soon. We're working our projects together and working in the community, and that's always fun.
Absolutely.
So until I see you next time, I'll just say goodbye to the listeners as well, and let everybody know that, we are the Good Neighbor Podcast. And so I'll always sign off by saying, until I see you again, everybody out there, be good to your neighbor. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Union. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpunion.com. That's gnpunion.com, or call us at 859-651-8330.